Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our morning get together live here on Facebook, where we take a close look, or as close as we can, to headlines from our city, our state, and our country. We take a look at your comments, ideas, questions, and suggestions about how to live our lives as plentifully, as happy, I suppose, here in Puerto Vallarta. As a community of English-speaking locals, today is January the 6th. It's Three Kings Day, it's Reyes Magos Day, and it is a day of celebration in many Latin American countries. Of course, we have all kinds of news to share with you. We'll talk briefly about what we celebrate and how we celebrate it. We will talk about, we have updates on the cruise ship situation. We have updates on COVID. We have updates on Telmex, which melted yesterday. It was not something you said or something you did. Telmex went down in many parts of the country yesterday, leaving us all baffled, or at least I was baffled. Every time the internet goes down, I get the shivers, but that's just me. We have yet another update on the he said, she said about the fireworks on January 31st. And you're probably wondering, Paco, when are you going to drop that? That's a good question. We'll talk about that in a minute. But first, as always, it is so nice to welcome people for the first time. So if you are watching for the first time, Daniel is here. Weren't you looking for yerba mate? It's nice to see that you are here, Daniel. And if I'm mistaking you for somebody else, I'm sorry, but I do remember somebody who was coming here was looking for yerba mate to make tea. Anyhow, as always, we love welcoming people for the first time. So if this is your first time, let us know by writing the word new in your comment. And if you have something truly important to share with us, please add the letter Q. Otherwise, we might miss your comment, and we don't want to do that. So let's dive into oh my God. And of course, today is Thursday, so we're having Taco Tuesday on a Thursday. We announced that this past Tuesday. It was a complicated day to go taco eating the day before because of New Year's and whatnot. I love it. Daniel says, I am Mr. Yerba Mate. So we have a new nickname for Daniel, Mr. Yerba Mate. I love it. Just don't be confused by those lords and ladies here in Mexico. I mean, you could become Lord Yerba Mate, and that might not be so good. Anyhow, what was I saying? Yes, we had mentioned that we would have Taco Tuesday today. And what a nice bunch of people serving tacos I saw last night. You know, it is so comforting to go out to an eatery of any kind and see the wait staff and the people that prepare the food just in a good mood. And of course, we'll talk about that in due time. Angelica is asking, what is yerba mate good for? Well, I know that it's good for tea, as many friends from Argentina drink it. Now, what it's good for in terms of its medicinal purposes, I have no idea. Perhaps Mr. Yerba Mate himself can enlighten us. But while we get there and we take a look at all the other comments, let us first start with our news as usual. Well, for all the hullabaloo that has been going on regarding the cruise ships and whether um, they can or cannot arrive and whether it's okay or not, multiple sources have published articles about this, but we might as well go to the source. Yesterday afternoon, Governor Alfaro published the following statement on his own Facebook page regarding cruise arrivals in Puerto Vallarta, and I quote, "In case anyone has doubts about the cruises that arrive in Mexico, let me explain. Everyone is welcome here, everyone is welcome here wherever they come from, but each person that chooses to disembark must present a negative COVID test. If there is no test, nobody disembarks. It's that simple. There have been national and international cruise ships that we've welcomed with pleasure and pride and without risk. But there are others that have not followed the rules and therefore have not been able to disembark. The message is clear. Nothing is above the health of our people." It's as clear as that. So hopefully those people or those cruise lines that fail to follow the local guidelines will get the memo and act accordingly. Why should we worry about that? Well, the health secretary of Jalisco announced that COVID cases in our state almost doubled in a matter of 24 hours, with over 1,000 new cases registered yesterday, while the day before there were 585. So we've announced it, we knew it was coming, and here it comes. If you are 40 years of older or older, 40 years of age or older, the official vaccination pre-registration website is now allowing for people to pre-register to receive a booster shot. Curiously enough, I tried to pre-register yesterday evening, but when I entered the date of my second vaccine, which is what the registration page expects you to do, the system returned a curt reply indicating that I needed to wait at least 6 months to pre-register, and for my age group, this would be in February. So I think it's interesting that you can pre-register, but then the system will tell you, no, you cannot. And it's interesting because there have already been booster shots applied to people that were 60 or older at the end of last month, and I didn't hear anything about them having to pre-register. But what do I know? I think we will worry about this again once our vaccine booster campaigns are announced. Now, about Telmex, it certainly wasn't something you said or did. Yesterday around noon, Telmex internet service failed throughout many states and in the country, affecting everyone and everything from casual web browsing to home office work due to two accidental ruptures in the fiber optic network. The service was restored yesterday late afternoon, and Telmex has not made any official statements about the incident. And as I mentioned earlier, I do have the latest on the fireworks saga, which, yes, I continue to follow. Now, Mayor Michel claims that he and Governor Alfaro did not have a telephone conversation about the New Year's Eve fireworks. So, in effect, our mayor is saying that our governor lied. Ouch. And that it was CEPAL director Salvador Llamas who conversed on telephone with Jalisco's Secretary of Government, Juan Enrique Ibarra, and it was he who approved the fireworks show only minutes before midnight on New Year's Eve. CEPAL's director's talking points were apparently, number one, we don't have to pay for the fireworks because the city business community sponsor them. And number two, there are tourists at many businesses along the Malecon waiting for them to go kaboom. So would you please let us burn the fireworks? And of course, through these statements, we see where the priorities of the local government are or where they're at. And this is pretty much the only reason why I keep talking about this. Clearly, the fireworks already happened, and what's done is done. But I find it rather fascinating to see how all these characters are so good at throwing the ball at one another while infection rates are increasing again exponentially. So that's the government we voted for, I suppose. Let us turn over to the weather and see what's going on out there. It's been 365 days since the last insurrection attempt. I'm forecasting a 43.7 chance that counter will a 43.7 chance that counter will go back to zero soon. Yes, indeed, it's been a year since the insurrection at the Capitol in the United States. And here we are 1 year later. It is 23 degrees out there, feels like 24. Humidity is lowish, 58%, and our temperature in Fahrenheit degrees is 73 degrees. Our weather forecast for today is clear through the day with a high temperature of 27, low temperature of 17. Partly cloudy will be our weather forecast for Friday with a high temperature of 27, low temperature of 17. That'll be tomorrow. And then Saturday, we'll have a mostly cloudy day with a high temperature of 28, low temperature of 17. And that is our weather forecast for today. I have a couple other things to share with you. The first one being, of course, today is Three Kings Day, and it's time to cut the Rosca de Reyes, or King's bread, a yummy bread prepared with sweet batter and shaped like a giant donut. But we won't get into its tradition or its origin today. What we will say is that you want to keep in mind that if you enjoy a slice of it or two or more, because it's really yummy, you must chew carefully as you might encounter a plastic figurine within the bread, usually of baby Jesus, but it could be something or someone else. If you get a figurine while slicing the bread or while chewing it, tradition dictates that you must provide tamales for those present at the cutting of the bread on February 2nd, which is the date in which we celebrate the Feast of the Purification of the Blessed Virgin, known locally as Dia de la Candelaria. What will happen if you don't do this? Well, nothing at all. But that's what tradition calls for. I actually went to supermarket yesterday and I went looking for mini roscas, but I couldn't find any. So I don't think I'm going to have Rosca de Reyes this year unless somebody extends an invitation. But that's okay. There's plenty of work in the house to do. So it's no big whoop if we don't have Rosca de Reyes this year. And now let's see what else oh yes, we have a reminder of tonight. Tonight we're having our favorite ice cream makers, Kathleen and Todd Atkins. We're going to have a live conversation with them at 8 p.m. right here. And we will talk about how they came to Puerto Vallarta, how it's been for them to become English-speaking locals, how it's been for them to run a business, and how they have been blessed by being part of the community. So I look forward to this conversation with two dear friends who are most definitely two people from the English-speaking community you would like to meet. And now let me set everything in order to talk to you about my taco adventure yesterday. I think we are good to go. This particular taqueria I discovered back on June 4th. I remember very well because I posted about it. I was walking home from watching movies with friends at La Isla, and in what was known as El Güero Flaco at the time was open on Calle Viena, and I figured I'm going to stop here. And I remember posting, what is one to do when the taco place comes between you and your destination? And it's so funny. Joe Willis at the time said, you indulge, then film for Taco Tuesday. So it took a little while to get around to doing that. But yes, indeed, we went back to this place last night. They now call themselves El Super Güero, but it is the same taco place. It is at the intersection of of Vienna and the Avre Street. I forget if that is still Versalles or if it's already part of Diaz Ordaz. We know those two colonias are next to one another. But this is a lively evening taco stand that also has places to sit inside that I enjoyed very much. I was there last night. And as you can see, you have several choices. You can sit right outside where the tacos are being prepared, or you can also um, sit inside. Well, this is also part of the sitting arrangement on the other side of the taco place. And hold on just a second. I just lost my taco screen. We didn't want to do that. There you go. I think we got it. Yes. And let's see what else we have. They serve tacos al pastor, but they also have all kinds of many other different tacos, which you can enjoy. The whole list is published on the wall, so you can see that they have the standard asada or beef tacos, pastor, chorizo, chuleta, all the standard stuff. But they also have some of the other innards tacos. They have brain tacos and lip tacos and so forth and so on. And as you can see, the menu is right there on the wall. But just in case there are people sitting there, they have these flyers, which they have available. And through the flyers, we learned that they have 4 different locations. Needless to say, we went to the one in Versalles because it's near home. And again, what really struck me about the experience is that, well, for starters, they have like all this staff, which for a street place, well, it's not really a street place and it's not really a restaurant. It's kind of a combo of everything, just as what they offer. Everybody was in a great mood. Everybody was uniformed. Everybody was just happy to serve. I even got a demonstration of how the tortillas are roasted, toasted to make what is known as volcanes, which are these flat tortillas that where you put chingaderos on top of them and whatnot. Needless to say, I had a craving for tacos al pastor because I had not had them in a while. And I started with 3, ended up with 2 more for a total of 5. These are smallish tacos. I had agua de guayaba or guava water. And look at this. The choices of salsas were great, from mild avocado salsa and limes and radishes and cucumber to a mild, no, a slightly spicy green, a spicy red, a mild red, and a salsa mexicana. So you had all these choices for the tacos, and the tacos were absolutely delicious. I know we've done a lot of taco places, and these tacos look just like every other taco we've seen. In reality, if you were to ask me, is there a bad taco to be had out there? I don't know that I have a good answer for you, because I mean, you go to a taco al pastor place and you go to another, and the experience is quite similar. The chances are that you'll find some differences in the type of salsas that get offered to you. But in this particular case, I was just so happy to go to this place. And again, it's walking distance from my home, which is a great advantage for me. And of course, we will put them on our Taco Tuesday map, which is available for subscribers. And of course, I will leave you with the Facebook page link for them so that you can explore them to your heart's content. And now let us take a quick look at your comments just to see what everybody is up to. Let's see, lots of good mornings, which always makes me so very happy. Do 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 do. Let's see. Good morning. Dodging COVID-19 like I'm in the Matrix. Vaccine is working. Well, dodging COVID-19. I hear you. I hear you, John. Every time I walk out the street, I feel like I'm trying to dodge an infection, and so far we've been successful. Um, let's see what else we have. We mentioned this before, but Daniel, you may want to know that the bad behavior of people that are not wearing a face mask is not the United States. It's not Canada. It's not Mexico. It's people from all over. So, in case you thought that only people from the United States do not wear face masks, I wouldn't personally go as far as singling out a specific nationality. There are wonderful people from all over the world here, and there are horrible people from all over the world here. And that's just the nature of the beast. Um, Food for thought if you want to consider that. Let's see. Oh, Cheryl, you are definitely one of my heroes. Coffee and headlines, tacos, and online yarn shopping. A good day. I hear you, Cheryl. I have been itching to go to Guadalajara for the symphony, and now I'm itching to go to Guadalajara for yarn shopping. There is something to be said about online shopping, but when it comes to yarn, touchy feely has a lot to do with it. So I'm hearing you. Let's see what else we have. Do 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 do. Let's see. Do 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 do. Oh, we get an interesting explanation about yerba mate. It is a natural energy drink and cleanser for your guts with an antioxidant. It's very healthy. I've heard that much, so thank you very much for letting us know more about yerba mate, Daniel. Um, Really wish we had the same requirements for folks arriving on planes as we do for cruise ships. Cheryl, that has been a criticism that Governor Alfaro has received. And I read a lot of the comments that he got after his statement on Facebook saying, what about the planes? What about the buses? What about other people walking in? And I don't think our good governor has an actual response for that. There's no reply for that. But the reality of it is, Cheryl, just imagine what travel on any route or method would be like if each and every single person had to get a test before entering a country. Getting that would add, I don't know, maybe an hour or two to, I don't know how long it takes to get the results for the test. Actually, there are those instantaneous tests, but just the reality, the financial reality of testing everybody that the planes, it would be really, really crazy. Um, so what can I say? I wish they would test everyone? Of course I do, but I'm also a realist and I'm mindful of the fact that some things are possible and some things are not. Let's see what else we have. Do 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 do. Jenny went through the ritual, cut the rosca yesterday. Bread was delicious. Tamales will be provided by my friends who found the baby Jesus. Well, make sure that you make sure they deliver. Absolutely. Not that we need to wait for a special day to enjoy tamales. Let's see what else we have. Daniel asks, what's the address of that taco place? Please say it again. I will be so very happy to share everything you want to know about this taco place in the show notes, Daniel, and you will have the show notes at your disposal about an hour or sooner after the broadcast. Let's see. Matthew followed suit. Yesterday, I chuckled at the name Febronio Uribe because, well, for starters, it sounds like a horrible name. I'm sorry, Febronio. If you're out there, you know, a lot of times when I read names, I figured, okay, do I see myself having a husband with such and such name? Or do I see myself moaning? Oh, you don't need to know this. But yeah, I frequently ask myself, would I be in bed moaning and groaning with a Febronio? Uh, and no, I don't know that Febronio is a good name for sex making or having or whatever. But that's just me. Do you wonder if no, I don't need to know. I don't need to. No, yes, I do. Okay, so when you meet someone and they have a silly name, do you imagine yourself having sex with someone with that silly name and then you calling out loud, faster, Febronio, faster? I know it's stupid, but I always do that. It's just a fault of my own, I'm sure. Anyhow, I see that Matthew has gone online to try to find more information about Febronio Uribe, and Matthew couldn't find anything. So we don't know. We don't know. And if you have funny reactions to people's names, like I have when I consider myself the possibility of having sex with people named something specific, do let me know. Otherwise, I'll continue to consider myself a freak. Any updates on the number 4 bus to El Rio barbecue? Rand, I don't understand the question because, as I understand, the bus is running. I mean, what happened when you tried to ride the bus? Um, I haven't read anything specific about the bus that goes to El Rio Barbecue in forever. So I don't even think there's something wrong with the bus. Is there something wrong with the bus? Maybe Rand, you can fill us in because again, I don't know that there are any updates that we should be looking for. Let's see. Joey and Isaac make amazing tamales. Yes, aside from publishing one of the most successful gay guides in town, if not the most successful, I don't know that they are the most or least, but certainly the one that I choose to endorse. They also make amazing tamales. Absolutely. When I flew to California last month, I had to be tested before I got on the plane. Got tested at Walmart, had results emailed within a half an hour. Easy peasy, cost was 200 pesos. The thing, Cheryl, is this is not California, this is Mexico. And what happens in California does not necessarily happen in Mexico. So, what can I tell you? Let's see. Well, yeah, Jenny. I mean, if somebody introduces you to someone called Mildred, do you visualize yourself faster, Mildred, faster? I mean, some names feel better on the tongue when you're lovemaking, um, and some names just don't work that much. Mark asks, when traveling to the US, Canada, or Europe, you need to test before flying. Couldn't we do that here? Well, Mark, again, you would want to ask that to the health authorities. I find it very interesting that a lot of times people are in the habit of saying, well, when I went to Tokyo, this happened. When I went to Brussels, this happened. When I flew this place, this happened. Well, we are not Tokyo or Brussels or this place or that place. So could we do that here, Mark? That is a great question, but that question that I think you should ask the authorities. John Russell clarifies the number 3 and number 4 buses are not running because of the two-way on the Ignacio Vallarta bridge. Ah, okay. So there we go. Apparently there are no buses headed to El Rio Barbecue right now, but a very short Uber ride should be able to get you there. Sorry, the test was done in Mexico because you were entering another country, Cheryl, and that is a requisite expected of the other country, not of Mexico. Thank you very much. More clarification for that bus. I didn't realize that the bus is still waiting to resume its route. Thank you very much for that. And John says there is a free bus from Buenos Aires to Paso del Guayabo. So there you have it. There you have it. And I think that brings us to the end of the comments. And yeah, I don't see any more questions or comments. And oh, there's another one. Need a tamales map, or can tacos join? Can tamales join the tacos map? We are probably not going to have a tamales map, Liz, because tamales are everywhere, and there's a few places. There's not that many places. I mean, there are many places where you can find tamales, but no. I mean, do you really need a tamales map? I'm just wondering, do we really need a tamales map? You let me know. I mean, for me to include the tamales into the taco map is no big whoop, but the taco map is a taco map, not a tamales map. I'll be very glad to remind you of where I found great tamales. I found great tamales at a couple of places on Insurgente Street. But usually the best place to find tamales is your corner store. Many corner stores have them. So If you want to know again why, um, where we can get the tamales, we can certainly get into that. Paco explained that before the meaning of the rosca was because of the three kings. I could explain that, but I chose not to explain that on this broadcast. So we are not going to explain that on this broadcast. Let's see what else. Da, 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 da. Oh, Raymond. Raymond is back with a pun. We can have tamale tomorrow. It's always mañana. Chris would want me to work harder. A tamales map would be great. Okay. We would just ask our landlady where to get tamales. That's a good suggestion. Albert made it. Thank you, Paco, for the show. Love watching in PV. Wonderful. Time to go shopping. Michal doesn't need a tamales map because we get them. She gets them from a small store. Again, I'm happy to add a tamales map if I see an overwhelming need or want for it. But I don't see it. Again, oh, Matthew, oh, there you go. Matthew wants to have a ceviche map. Okay, let's put Paco to work. No, not today. Not today, Satan. This is the end of our broadcast. I hope you had a good time. I hope you found some clarity about some issues. I hope you find some issues that are thought-provoking. I hope you were inspired or at least slightly amused. If you were, you know where to go to continue supporting these broadcasts, which I am grateful, so ever grateful for that. And tonight, of course, don't miss our interview with the Churners. And tomorrow we'll be back for Fluvial, which we were supposed to discuss last week, but we're going to discuss that tomorrow. You're going to need a raise, Paco? Well, maybe. The Buy Me a Coffee coffees have not been raised for a year and a half. Maybe we will raise the coffees, but not just yet. Have a great day, everyone, and I will see you again soon. Enjoy your coffee.